Hello everybody, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. We are discussing the latest scam to hit North America. Basically, business scams are growing, and the Better Business Bureau did just release a study to let us know what is going on with these scams and how we can protect ourselves. So Tristan joining us now from the BBB to give us a little bit more insight into what we learned with this new study. Tristan, thank you so much again for joining us at the Alert Center today.
Yes, thanks for having me. It's always my favorite part of the week to be here, so let's get
Nice,
into it.
thank you. Thank you. All right, well, tell us a little bit more about what you found out. I mean, there are a lot of numbers here and some data points that, quite frankly, were very shocking.
Yeah, so the BBB just released a business scam study, just kind of going into depth about how big is the problem. I know we talk about consumer scams often, but businesses are getting scammed, and typically it's more money because it's a larger entity. In 2024, $1.4 billion was lost in business data breaches. And since 2022, we've had over 87,000 business scam reports. So the issue is huge and continuing to rise. And I think it's important for businesses, employers, and employees to recognize red flags when they show up.
Oh, definitely. And you just led me into the next question, and something that I really want to focus on because it all starts and perhaps ends with these red flags. So kind of list off a couple of these red flags or several of them if you can, and then after that we'll talk about some of these in depth if we have time to.
Yeah, definitely. So the most important thing is just recognize who you're receiving emails or phone calls from. Often scammers will act as vendors or government entities that are not actually real. And most often they'll try to persuade you into something or make you act urgently. So you'll get an email saying, hey, your invoice didn't go through and we didn't get your payment. Can you resend it? Just send a prepaid debit or gift card. And so those are all red flags. And so it's just being aware of those red flags, and just a few others involve just, like I said, the pressure is huge. They want you to think rapidly right away and not recognize what's actually going on. So be able to report it as well. That's the most important thing is if you do get an email, don't think you have to solve this on your own. You have plenty of employees around you. So ask questions and look out for those quick tips.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, there's no reason to rush yourself, right? I mean, that in and of itself is sort of a red flag, if you will. I mean, if you're feeling kind of like the pressure, like you mentioned, and just, we got to get this done. Oh my God, okay, sign on the dotted line, now we're done. That could open a host of other problems and issues down the line for you that you, quite frankly, don't want to deal with. Yeah, so, and again, going back to the numbers now, this is one that stuck out to me, though. The 2025 study revealed the average cost of a single data breach for a business. So one data breach for a business was $4.9 million. So I don't know. That doesn't seem like chump change to me.
No, not at all. And I think that's why scammers are continuously going after businesses is because with a consumer, no consumer is just going to, give out their information, especially when they know, $4 million is on the line. With businesses, though, they're huge entities that have so many different moving parts that it's hard to always track the money. So 4.9 is the number, and it's unbelievable how large it is. And so I think it's makes it even more important for businesses to recognize where all their money is going. Check invoices, make sure you know the business you're dealing with and any maybe subscriptions you have or other businesses you are working with.
Yeah, definitely top tier advice there as usual. Thank you so much, Tristan. We appreciate your time and hopefully you have a good rest of your week.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right, of course. We'll see ya. All right, so if you just are joining us right now at the Alert Center, we were just discussing the Better Business Bureau. They do have a new study that was just released talking about business scams and how they're growing across North America. We were talking about stolen data as part of that and imposter schemes and what you can do to protect yourself. Tristan was going over some of the red flags. He talked about red flags like emails and calls from unknown vendors or government entities, fake invoices from unfamiliar clients, or misspelled email addresses. These are all very little things that can have a huge impact, especially on you and your business financially. So we did go over some of those items. In the meantime, do you want to take another look outside for you? Clearly weather on the mind still. Here's a live look from our Blackstone camera. You can see just very eerie cloud cover over the greater metro area right now. Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord says we can expect 60% chance of showers and storms before 6 p.m. and we're right in the thick of that. The best odds, he's telling us, started at noon and will last until about 4 o'clock for something strong, he says, with some wind out there. So today's high is 86. Tonight we can expect partly cloudy conditions with a low of 67. Then as we head into Friday and into the weekend, let's take a look from our Northeast First National cam right here. Gosh, a beautiful shot there. You can see the, my goodness, yeah, the river there right in front of us, and a lot of cloud cover still, but that sun's still trying to poke through. Thankfully it does. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 90 degrees, a 20% chance of spotty storms after 10. Then on Saturday, partly cloudy out there with a high of 94 degrees and a 20% chance of spotty late storm showers. So for this information and more, you can always head to our website. That's firstalert6.com. We refresh this grid for you as usual, just to kind of give you the latest and greatest from our website. Also, for more in-depth weather coverage, you can head to the gray bar here at the upper left side of your screen for our First Alert 6 weather. There's Rusty's smiling face right here. And you can kind of, I'll leave this to your discretion, whether you'd like to check out the temperatures hourly, the 3-day, the 10-day, or most importantly, that weekend forecast. And if you want to get really nerdy, like our weather team, you can get into the radar and take a look at what they're viewing right now and what they're watching. So here's the key over at the right-hand side of your screen as well. Now, in the meantime, just want to say thank you so much for joining us at the Alert Center. Please do stay tuned for our first broadcast. That's with our Dave Zavolinsky at 3 p.m. We'll see you then.